Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Wandering Art Historian YouTube channel. My name is Adrienne Lee. You know me as the Wandering Art Historian. I'm so glad that you could join me for a brand new web series, something that I am very, very excited about. You may notice a different environment. You may even notice a different format. That's because I've got something very special planned. Basically, what you're seeing here is a PowerPoint via Zoom. Yeah, I got something up my sleeve. This new web series is called How to Read a Movie. And if that sounds at all familiar, which I hope it does, especially if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, you may recall a previous web series titled How to Read a Painting. And what we did is video after video, we analyzed famous works of art looking for the clues placed there by the artists who painted them. Those clues being how the artist used color, different symbols that were often hidden in plain sight, and the repeated stories that were painted again and again throughout art history. Guess what? We're going to use those same principles to discuss your favorite movies, because cinema is art too, and it's my own YouTube channel and I can do whatever I want. So that's what we're going to do with this web series. And you heard me say the word we quite a few times. Oh, that's right. This isn't a lecture. This is a conversation. And so I would like to welcome my guest cinephile for this particular video. His name is Bek Yuldashev. Do you want to give a wave, Bek?
Hey, everybody.
Awesome. Let me share a little bit with you about our guest cinephile, Bek Yuldashev. His favorite preferred film genres are sci-fi and drama. Both of those are going to come into play with this particular conversation of this particular film. Three films that best describe his cinematic tastes are The Terminator, Days of Heaven, and Ocean's 11. Very eclectic. I love it. And an underrated film that more people should see from Bek's perspective is the film Philadelphia, which is excellent, by the way. And if you haven't seen it, please catch up and watch it. What film will we be discussing in this video? One of my favorite films of all time. It was born the same year I was. Alien, directed by Ridley Scott from 1979. Before we dive in any further, spoiler alert, if you have not in some way seen the movie Alien, pause this video and go watch it and then come right back, because nothing's off the table in this conversation. We'll be talking about plot, we'll be talking about characters, we'll probably give away the ending. So you've been warned. All right, so Bek, hey, how's it going? How you feeling?
I'm doing well, feeling well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being part of this web series project and these wonderful conversations. I wanted to have the best of the best. So of course I had to reach out to my very best cinephile friends. And so I'm so grateful that you're here, willing to share your perspectives, the colors, symbols, and stories of this amazing film that we both love very, very much. Before we dive into the specifics, I just want to give a shout out to the master himself, H.R. Giger. Part of the reason why this film is so good is because they hired a visual artist. And I know that's a definitive statement. And for those of you who take my classes and lectures know that I don't like to give definitive statements all the time, but I'm gonna do it this time, because without H.R. Giger, I don't know where we would be, and I don't even want to think about that. So shout out to the master. Bek, when you were rewatching this film, I feel like color kind of helps. Ridley Scott's really good with his use of color in a way that it's almost like subtle in how it helps tell the story. What are your thoughts on the use of color in this film?
I think a lot of the part of the film is almost like the absence of color, where it's very like just dark gray, and then I think towards a little later on the color pops in. I think accents like blue and red, but it's a lot of just brown, black, and I think in the ship a lot of just like white, almost like I say like a very sterile. Again, has this like hospital feel in the ship. So
Sure.
that's what jumped up at me.
Perfect. And I love that absence of color because you're right. When we do see color, it really stands out to us in this film, especially because you're like, oh, it's space and it's pitch black, and what have you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool that the color is used sparingly. And when it is, it makes it even more powerful. So I love that. I love that you said that the neutrals and it's kind of black and dark and it's very mechanical. I noticed that, which of course, again, God bless the master, H.R. Giger.
I almost want to say biomechanical.
Oh, yes, yes. So you mentioned something about the idea of it being sterile, and I love that word. Do you want to maybe talk a little bit more about that? I put this image up. What do you think?
Yeah, even like this, it's just like very clean, like I said, like this like hospital feel, like white. It definitely has a vibe of a very clean, sterile place that I think is very unusual in especially a spaceship setting.
That's a really good point. I feel like it does. Okay, so we had Star Wars in 1977 give us the shock of like a dirty future or a dirty, or well, I know it's a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago. I get that. But it's kind of that aged look. Things were dirty and whatever.
Like aged sci-fi.
Yes, for sure. And this movie does both. It gives us sections of the ship that are aged and dirty and sections that are clean and pristine, like a hospital, like you said, like sterile. Yeah. I love that juxtaposition. It shows like a light and a dark kind of sense.
Definitely.
And it also is more powerful too, because the dining room scene with the chest burster, that top of red.
Yes, definitely.
Whew, I just gave myself chills just thinking about it. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. What else? I've got this slide, this screenshot. What do you got for me?
So yeah, this is pretty much the ending, and to me, especially watching now, felt like she's in all like pretty much all white. He's a very dark creature. It has this good versus evil vibe that's very just obvious and in your face. I think it's a good setting and a good moment to put that in, especially at the end.
I love that, the light versus the dark. Oh, that's really good. That's really, really good. Some of the symbolism plays into the use of color too, because we were talking about this.
Yes.
So for everybody, just as a refresher, they're on the ship in Nostromo, but its operating system, for lack of a better word, or AI, is referred to as Mother, which is a very interesting symbolism, right?
Oh yeah.
What do you got for me, Bek, on Mother here?
So yeah, this is pretty much the room where the ship's computer, they can access it. And like, again, rewatching it this time, it has this just, techno womb feel. I feel like in a safe, very warm, this orangey white environment with, of course, with the techno vibe. And yeah, that's right away, it just stood out to me. Just like, whoa.
For sure. I love that. Which is, that's really good, because later in the film, when Ripley finally has access to the womb, where they literally feed you the directions. That's like what you're supposed to do. It comes directly from the company.
Yeah, information.
And when Ash shows up there, it's like that terrifying moment where you're like, oh, he's not supposed to be there.
Right. His head pops up just there. It's like, whoa, what the hell?
Yes. The incredible Ian Holm, may he rest in peace.
R.I.P.
I want to keep talking with this kind of mother reference and this womb thing. And we use this image to talk about the color white, but with the symbolism, there's kind of another level there. What do you got?
Yeah, this movie has a lot of sexual imagery, and this is an example where it's just like this scene of them awakening, of almost like a birth of again from the womb, a birth with them all waking up, and again with the color, with the again hospital feel, it all just melts together. I think it definitely represents that.
I love it. Well, because white is also pure, and these people are being woken up early from their journey home only to have terror rain down upon them soon. They don't know that. Rewatching, I thought it was interesting that Kane is the first guy to wake up.
Right, yeah, I didn't notice that.
The first guy to, yikes. Okay, so there's that.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing, maybe.
A little foreshadowing there. I like also that they're in their own individual pods, and
right.
each baby xenomorph gets his or her own little lovely pod to emerge from after a long sleep.
It's almost like they're social distancing in their own pod.
That's one way to do it. That is definitely one way to do it. The master, H.R. Giger, boy, what a guy. The biomechanical, but you also notice something really interesting with the way he fashioned and designed the alien or derivative ships, the things that we see on LV-426. This is the planet on which they land, where we find the pods / eggs. What do you think, Beck? I mean, the longer you look at an image like this, the more you realize, what am I looking at?
Right, yeah, again, this alien ship has, this female genital entrance looking thing, which again, is a little, I feel like even 1979 might be a little like shocking for that time.
That maybe, yes. What a way to say it too. I like the way you phrased that. Very, but I think a lot of that underscores a lot of the themes about gender or sex in this particular film, because while we don't necessarily see a sexual act per se, there are a lot of instances that come real close.
Oh, definitely. And again, it's sexual, a lot of sexual symbols in this movie, and this is just also phallic imagery.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that is all heightened in the follow-up film Aliens, which is wonderful because it plays with gender roles and stuff like that, which I always love. Let's talk a bit about this. This was an observation that you made that is really phenomenal. Always want to give a shout out to the visual artists that influence other art. I am a firm believer that art begets art, that artists are inspired by other artists and then they make even more art. And I love that. It's almost collaborative in a way. Beck, do you want to talk to me about this image that you found?
Yeah, but I was going to add to that, just like everything is a remix, everything is used and inspired and copied. But this I actually found because I was watching a documentary about Alien called Alien Memory. It came out a couple of years ago. And they said in the documentary that Ridley Scott, the director, wanted to show some inspiration to H.R. Giger to design the alien baby. And he showed this painting by Francis Bacon, which is called, I believe, Fury. To kind of inspire him to design a creature similar to that. So I thought, I was like, wow, that is very great that you use something like, again, art and painting for that.
Awesome. Yeah, shout out to Ridley Scott for looking to other media for inspiration, being influenced by art history. You know how much I love it. It's my life. So really cool use of colors, really cool use of symbolism. This image, we kind of talked already a little bit about a few things and that we could kind of derive from this screenshot. It's not directly from the film. It's like a promotional still or what have you. And it's that darn cat.
that darn cat.
That darn cat. So rewatching it, I was like, has anybody ever talked necessarily about why there is this beautiful orange cat? And I was like, well, orange is kind of like what you said, where because everything is very dark or light, the splash of color is really cool. And I think, okay, well, you got to have an orange cat for that splash of color. But then I was thinking, like, it's kind of this tale as old as time kind of situation about humans having dominion over animals or creatures, and we've domesticated cats. So why can't we domesticate a xenomorph and use it for our military or our bio weapons division of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, that kind of thing, you know?
Breed, I know.
So I think the cat is kind of a foil to the xenomorph to be like, you know, hey buddy, don't let them domesticate you. I don't know, something along those lines.
Well, there's multiple scenes. I mean, not multiple. There's a couple of scenes where like they try to find the cat, and then all of a sudden you see the alien behind him, and then all of a sudden he eats, and the cat's just sitting there looking at it. And it's like, okay, that was a little suspicious. I don't know.
Even the cat's like,
yeah.
It's behind you. It's behind you. So there's that. What's another repeated story I was thinking of too that you see a lot in the horror genre is the trope of the final girl. And you know, I was doing a little bit of research, and I know that the script was written with just last names without genders assigned.
Because they weren't sure until when they were writing the script.
How much do you love that? I love that so much. So it wouldn't have necessarily been a final girl if the character of Ripley had been cast as anyone else. But how can you imagine the character of Ripley as anyone else? Sigourney Weaver is the queen.
Oh, definitely.
What did you see any repeated stories that really jumped out at you watching this film again?
Yeah, there was a couple. The signal transmission of an unknown origin, and you have to find the signal. That is very used in a lot of especially sci-fi movies. Another one was the haunted house movie, where each one gets picked off one by one. Again, very similar.
So good. And what a haunted house in space. Why not?
I mean, let's get more scary. Where a place you can't escape, where you're all inside, and just like the claustrophobia, and
And you can't go outside either, because then no one can live out there. So
no one can hear you scream.
No one can hear you scream.
But one more, it's a little way. I thought it was a story of Frankenstein in a way of that, they didn't make this monster, but they went out and he got infected, and they brought him back to the ship, and that thing was killed each one of them, kind of like the maker killed, so that is definitely popped out at me this time.
That is freaking awesome. Yeah, I love that. Us humans, we love stories. And the best stories we want to tell over and over again, which is probably why there are 4 Alien movies and then 2 additional films as almost prequels to these 4 sort-ish reboots. Not really.
Yeah.
But in it, that's 6 movies in which humans have to deal with xenomorphs, the perfect organism. And what a cool way to say, hey, guess what, humans? You're not the perfect organism. This guy is. Good luck trying to kill it. So.
But also, like with each movie, I just can't believe, each time, the corporation has the balls to saying, oh, they couldn't get the last time, but this time we can do it. We can capture it. We can use it for military purposes. Each time they're just not learning from the lessons.
Yeah, they're like, well, that guy couldn't do it. But you know what? I know what he did wrong, and that's why I'm going to do it this way this time. Never works. Never works.
Can I just add one more thing about symbolism? And if you want to,
Absolutely, you
you
can.
can cut it out if need be. But something that also this time, I think I saw it, but somebody else mentioned it. I was reading about it. Was there's a couple of times you see a crescent symbol where you would see the planets and you would see the crescent planet, like let's say like Saturn, but also the ship, the alien ship, is a crescent shape. And I actually looked it up. I never knew crescent is a symbol for fertility and
Oh,
birth
yeah,
cycles. And I was like, oh my God, even something small like that
for
still
sure.
fits into the movie, the symbolism of the movie.
Beck, good eye. Wonderful, wonderful catch. And like you said, to think of things even to that tiny detail to drive that message home, genius. Love it. Amazing. We're about to wrap up, Beck. Do you have anything else you would like to share as we say goodbye to our viewers?
Yeah, I just want to say, the director, Ridley Scott, I think Ridley Scott astronauts look cooler than any other astronauts. And like each movie that he's made, The Martian, Prometheus, I mean, the design I think is so cool. So that I think definitely stand out to me, and he's really good at that. And lastly, just keep watching the movies.
Uh, Wonderful, wonderful words for our viewers. Thank you so much, Beck, for being a part of this web series, How to Read a Movie. We looked at colors, symbols, and repeated stories in the film Alien by Ridley Scott from 1979. If you liked this video, be sure to leave a comment, share this video with somebody else, your favorite cinephile or art historian in your life. And for more videos like this, please do not forget to subscribe to the Wandering Art Historian YouTube channel. As you know, my name is Adrienne Lee. You know me as the Wandering Art Historian. I'm so grateful that you were willing to join me for this video. I'm so grateful to my guest cinephile, Bek Yuldashev, for talking to me about this incredible masterpiece of a film. Until next time, everyone, when we'll be talking about yet another one of your most favorite films as art. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Thanks, everyone. Bye.